I think this is alive now. Everyone in hey. We're flooding the chat. All right, that's awesome. That was a goal. That was a goal. We're testing the platform, right? So let me first pull off my first screen. This platform is I'm sorry about that. I did not change. So we will best as we can. Otherwise, everything should be good. So, all right, let's. You found a raccoon in your backpack. Yard. Okay, back in the backpack. We're gonna be fine there. I have. Stay curious. If I would be there in person, you would all get one. But sorry. So today we're going to bacon or not too bacon. Machine learning for a session. So in terms of to the application to a proper app, the model to a proper app, I'm not going to have a lot of time to do that, but we're going to go through as much of it as possible. The resulting put of this session is you will have a model that you're going to be able to on pretty much any or any other devices, including servers, that will allow different pictures that have bacon or not. And let's get started. All right, so every day with a similar thing that you can find already online, which is on aka.bacon. It is a learn module. It's just a self-learning thing. You can just go online, no credit cards required. You just go through the process and you'll be able to do whatever. Hot dog, not odd dog. Yeah. That is kind of a ripoff of Silicon. Don't tell anyone. Right? That is kind of the thing that I'm for. Something that I just love. I think present this like at 5 p.m. Any at that point, I'm just like, let's embrace it. Everybody loves food. But one of the things that I love more much is bacon. Like I do love some good bacon, whether if it's candied and you're gonna. All right, so identify bacon and pictures that could be posted anywhere. Like if I take like that, there's bacon in there. So we need to how to identify those pictures. Just create this model. We need to set up how. So the first step is we're gonna have to create our Azure resources. So we will need to go into the portal or some. Just make sure that we have those resources. Then we're gonna progressively, step by step, we're gonna to the next, and then integrate our model in application. That part to make it work, but I'm pretty sure we're not gonna have time for that. What we need to recognize a picture where there is bacon. We don't care really where it is. We just need to know in that picture, yes or no. We need to be able to time because we're going to start with small, make sure that our model becomes even greater. Where we'll use this, technically we could. We're going to be awesome with that. We're going to custom vision like pretty half hour or 45 minutes on all of this. So super interesting. So the first thing to go to is custom vision. So I already have it. It's right here. Let me see. I'm in private mode or whatever your browser because I'm already logged in. But just basically, let me just we'll start the whole authentication process like this. It's the same login that you would use on And from there, we're going to have a look at ways we can create a model. And I want to bring a different things that we're going to have a fork in the road in our, and we want to write one. Classification is basically just what are multiple tags in an image. Section like X and Y in the picture. Because we don't want to detect like individual license plate, for example. We identify is there bacon or not, really exactly where it is. But another problem is object detection. You really have to specify the location of the object. You have to draw the little shape. But the problem that we have is I have turns, and with that, so we don't have time for a small there. So we're just going to go with classification right off the right. So let's. So I don't know what my slide is. Let me just take. So yeah. So those slides. So we're bringing a browser back to the window. So first thing, come on. All right. Sorry, tree screen here. One here, one here. Looking here means I'm looking at the chat. Looking here, when I'm looking here, it means, I don't know, I'm looking at background. The new Edge uses Chrome. It is a new Chromium. It is not the dev one, or maybe it is, but I am on the. That one is good. It's like it has the reading articles and stuff like that. It also has the I don't remember. I think it's immersive reading or something like that. This is I don't remember where it is. Here, stuff you can find. So this is not a session on Edge, but it's worth it. So the first thing you're going to do is create a new project. We're going to do. So we'll do bacon cool title, and we're going to go back bacon fun. And from here, we're going to be able to create or choose our sources. And bacon fun earlier. So what you're going to have at that, those are the resources that we will need. Well, let's just, you can see. So you pick a resource name, you pick let's check this one, and then you would pick the right resource. Think of resource group just like a little bit smarter, but just like full. This is where you put things from the same logical context, and then you can. And that today will not matter. We're just going to pick cognitive services. You do both in prediction, but in if and you don't really care about the prediction endpoint, and it's going to be Ed. And the present here. I already sorry, I'm going to be using the standard one, but it's just more per second, and that's pretty much it. Like there's difference. So that's going to be something. So just like we talked about, and you can just like get a small, but playing with those, you will see that we're going to pick classification for on our side. As types, we can either have multiple tags for images or image, and for me, I care about bacon, and that's always I only care about. And we're going to go with multi-class, which per images. Yes, bacon for life. All right, and then the domains. Okay, the domain be interesting. The thing is, you want to pick a domain bottom here is closest to one of your scenario. Is really want is the reason you want really provide have already been trained. And if you will have generic type of answers or your label that are already going to be pre-trained and all those features are going to, that model is already pre-trained with food like meat and vegetables and a whole bunch for processed food. It has been trained just for that. Reach that kind of domain. So if you're trying to do bacon with landmarks, I mean, if I'll talk like bacon, right position around the sun, but otherwise, really the kind of we're looking for. And now we said a repeat. Now that why there is the if you're not picking a compact, if I were to just create product, I would not be able to export my model. So, for example, a phone, you would PAP just do like a get or content and hope that this thing works and that you have it. No domain for faces or anything you related. That would go, I think, more into the general one. Covered by the general. No reason. It's just like scrolling, not scrolling all the time. General and be covered. Model only has like Google is of bacon. They are real bacon or bacon or you know what, like, so we find something along those lines. And the reason now for model, and if you can't export that model, it means that the internet, your project is depending on you recognize specific in regions that you may not have. Well, what happens now is you'll need to download and get those answers when you reach back world. But if your model is exported, you could already do your or with any other devices that can run that model or an IoT device. Export capability will say just go with basic platform. Just already I don't want unless it's telling you to. So by clicking create, we're getting a huge portal of things that you can do. All right, let's build that model. Of course, you can always click train and do some fun. Of course, here your project cannot be trained just yet. Make sure you have at least tags and 5 images for every tag. I will do that. So let's not. Let's go into my pictures. Okay, so this is kind of a good structure. So that structure of your split from your testing data is actually very important, because what you want to have is you don't want to test on. Just like your teachers will give you, for example, like before the real exam, let's give you something to get you ready. Exam from 3 years ago, so you can test it out, and then you can the real exam from today. If you're testing the data for these exam, and then you go and in the same answers from 2020 exam, the thing is, it's done. Answers, it memorized them all. So you don't want to do, because the thing is, everything is working fine, but it's split the training and the testing. So we're going to go into the data, and I have two tags that I'm going to follow. This one is demo purposes. So we're going to go with bacon, and we're only going to get the first 5. So 5, this one. We're going to go with a very strict minimum one. I don't know more. And we know that all of those are bacon. So I'm going to upload it. It's going to be fine. And then we're going to upload more images. This time I'm going to go to not bacon. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. All right. And next, what you will see is that the text that you already entered already there. So that should be by the way, if there's anything happening in the chat or Morgan, just do like if I need to answer some questions, because I see the chat going and I don't. All right, so I'm gonna go and not bacon files. And what you'll see here at the bottom here is I see one. I just said that one down. Do you all want me to slow down? Slow down. Okay, there's confused. Okay, we can slow down. Okay. Let me just do a small quick. And while this is running, I will answer in a few minutes. All right, go. What can I do to unconfuse all of you? Or 5 pictures enough to train the model? Okay, so 5 pictures to train a good model. In this scenario, they are enough to generate not maybe a good answer, but kind of good-ish. And for need at least 2 tags, 5 pictures per tag, which means a total of 10 pictures. So but you will understand exactly why later when I explain. On the Azure service, custom video, type that in. I can type. Okay. Let me just give a second. I will retype that. There you go. Second link, people. Talk slower. So you haven't started coding anything yet. I'm going to be coding. If you stop seeing coming. Okay, cooking. Just start more bacon. Okay. So it's fun on Google. So what I understood right now is that you're all, and I'm going too fast. Okay. One is being trained what's happening in the background. And cause model of yes, those are already exist, and what we're doing is basically retraining the labels. That's what we're doing. You would also see that we're retraining a CNN, a convolutional neural. What's being trained in the background is exactly what I'm just saying. Training the model, and we're basically training of labels. We don't possible to change. It is not possible in my knowledge because those things are behind the scene. Amount of time to train a model based on tag image count, like it will depend on your model. Overtraining it, you will have or overfit model, and at that point you're just answer one question and only one is not going to be good. Right, for a mobile app, you would have a REST API consume the and then upload, and Azure would return some type of JSON to the appropriate tags. Animal, yes, it is with that model, but you would also, since we're doing a compact model, that means is you will also be able to download and run it offline without access to the internet. TensorFlow in the background, or models that with TensorFlow. So after opening and making the account, where do we go exactly? Yeah, those are good questions. Have an Azure account, you go to we don't need nothing to that yet. On YouTube, that's a good question for the moderators. Bing. Yes, that's what I meant, totally. It can be really hard to keep up during these workshops. Transfer learning. Catching up, people. I'm catching up. It won't be long. Is it possible to select pre-trained model? You will need for custom for exactly what you want. The generic models are normally found with our own platforms. I don't. You can download. There's 2 types of training. Fast. Answered a few questions. Anyone else on multiple chats at once? I used some simulation project before. Okay, so we will need as many images as you can is good, but the problem here is that oftentimes when you're which is basically a deep neural network, requires a ton and a half of images, and it means not just 100 images, it means tens of thousands of images per, and you need to label all those things, and you need people to just say, okay, are those tags, and do that. You want to use transfer learning to benefit from the existing retrain. That's what you want. Is there a REST API SDK for various languages? Yeah, that was Jim Bennett. So I'm answering questions, sentences, and can we just that would be, and I'm getting to the end of the question here. How do you go to the page where you can start? You have to go to customvision.ai and new project. Do we check cognitive services or pick version training? You check cognitive services. Otherwise, it's only going to be training or prediction. Cognitive services do both. How long does training normally take? It takes normally between 5 and 7 minutes with the picks that we have. I don't know why this time it's like taking so long. Quick refresh. So apparently the measure of the model will be showed up here as soon as it's trained, as soon as it's finished. In terms of questions. So this thing is training, and sadly, it looks like I'm going to have to complain again. So it's not the first time I'm doing this session. And in the past, it used to be like a few minutes, and then it got increased to 5 to 7. Like, it is getting kind of. So we're going to keep on going and assume that the training set has been done. So what we're going to add more images, because the thing is, once we have something, we will be able to do a quick test. We'll need to we'll be able to do some prediction and just try them out. So let's see if this thing is even done. I would love to get at least one model. Come on, Azure. All right, so it seems that it's just great. All right. I have by Amazon, sadly. Get here though is 5 images, like it was mentioned before. Not well, actually, it's very low. It might be probably we're only going to get 5 pictures. So what we're going to do is we're going to add more data to our platform, so to our model. So I'm going to pick all the, and this time I'm going to go with bacon and football bacon. Our data, same thing. Yes, it is. For our you have to choose classification. Otherwise, you can select everywhere where with object detection, you have to specify the location, and I don't have time to do on everything. All right, so all the bacons world, I'm going to upload. One of the features I want to show you is right there, is that we detected the duplicates automatically. So you don't have to, did I upload that one already or not? Being covered. So let's just do this. And now we bacon. And the sad part here is now we didn't do a few tests. We're going to test a few images. So, and that was 5 per tags. So we're going to go into the testing phase. I don't want to pick things that are in the training set. Iteration 1, and we're going to see here that it's sure, which is not great. I mean, we can try another. Like 58% is just like point us. Like really bacon. I don't know, and 60% here, so we're not even sure. Like this is bacon. Question like is how good is it? I mean, because we only have that much images. So what I want to is one test that I'm gonna try. Just quick next time. The model now with 15 and when you're training 5, there will be to show you once this is all done, and basically it's called unbalanced. So in our case, we're seeing is that we have 15 images bacon, and we don't for not bacon. So the face now has a ratio of 3-to-1 in terms of bacon data, and a 1-to-3 in terms of not bacon data. Huge ratio, 3 times. So actually performs badly. Ago, 1 or 2 minutes ago, and I don't think this thing is going to get done quickly. So remember that iteration 2 is basically just. Can I rename them while we're here? No. Things. I'll survive. So training images. So once you have things that you want to do is you want to more back to our training data, reselect the not bacon, selecting error, and I will select not bacon. But I want to show you before we go further. Let's say that I forget. So let's and hope I'm not killing my internet. All right, so they already found that there were 5 that were duplicate. What we can do here is we have all of so now can you just bacon, or would that be a bad idea? The more what happened here is that are to be processed. So we're not going to be trained. So what we do here is you can get suggested text. I want this to be analyzed. So let's get started. And actually very useful if you're connecting that system to another API. Things through the with a prediction URL, you will have and you will those images into your workspace. Sometimes you might have a good idea, but you don't know. It will respond very quickly once it's trained. And with picking similar images to bake and sample more ideal. For me, I'm training things with food, with everything that. So there's a whole bunch of stag here, and of course, it is not a good idea. Like they're all thinking that it might be bacon. They're getting their suggestion from the iteration, which is bad. So let's go with threshold. Yeah, those are all not, and we're going to confirm the tags for this one because I know that. So by confirming all the tags, it will move all those pictures now back into tag and not bacon and not bacon. So of course, once you have a model that is more performant than the have as iteration 1, better answer your suggested tags. So those things are going to take a while. What is confidence value? Threshold is basically that confidence. It's based on the training data, the images, and more of them. You can get those things by just doing a little over. There are proper definitions to go in there, and threshold here is going to be high. You want to have something like in a 5 or 6. For me, is like it's the beginning of like that's where I land in terms of course, all of this into would get all the things. So if you want decision, is it mentioned? So this is that search is not that great. So all the right the same information anyway. So and there is a way for you just use the prediction APIs kind of thing. So with that, whereas so that training data is apparently trash. Point that we're using because I do not have licenses to share, sadly, from Google in terms of food. I looked for bacon. I looked for breakfast. Why not bacon? Good questions. I don't know why I keep saying Google. I mean, right? Jokes aside, you're on Bing, Jason. It's right there. Why not terminal? I mean, in that case, PowerShell. Why not the Azure Cloud Shell, right? Why not connect to Azure with your local terminal? Anyway, 10. Why am I even? So the performance tests come in, folks. I promise I tested this out before doing this call. Okay, tested out, and they were taking 7 minutes to run. It's getting 15 minutes to run. So, like, 5 minutes, they were giving me 30, and I was like, it takes a long time. Coders use. Oh, we have something. So we will see here image count, by the way, unbalanced. I was talking to you about, and now I want to do the quick test. I want first. You're using testing data. Anybody loves Kevin Bacon? He is Bacon. He's got What is that above name? Reddit. I will just say that. There. Like, you're going to get weird stuff. But we can all see, like, this one. Like, this is just garlic bread and peppers. Yeah, now Reddit is weird. So we see here that our model might require a little bit more fine-tuning. The things that I one. So that's going to be my last test before I improve my model. This one should like rate bacon pretty high. Yeah, like, this is awesome. It's the best bacon we ever going to get. This one is just 5, so there's a lot more chance that things the 15-15 model applied. So before, normally I do 4 round of training, but I don't think we're going to survive 4 round of training here. What I'm going to do, you get something like even with the 15 balance model, it will still rate pretty high for what to do. So what you can do though is basically say, here's some, and we're going to tag those as not bacon, even though they're not the same than what you already saw kind of model. So we're just going to upload, and we're going to final training for today. And by the way, yes, advanced, if the money, and sure, but it's going to cost all your credit. Quick training for now. Could probably use that service to break captchas, but the thing is, all the industry is past captcha anyway. Bring the Chihuahua, and he currently has like an allergies, like until he bleeds, and he has, and I that would ego for the rest. Yeah, so as happened, the daughters have had, and yeah, he's gonna be fine. The dog is gonna be fine. I have meds now, and $70 food. Allergenic, it's so expensive. All right, so what I want to see then until it's finished, let me see if I can get the or vision API. Is it? I did not put a shortcut there. So that's Bing it, right? So everything that we're going to be using today, the whole API itself, portal, it looks like something that was just for my, you don't have access to all those features. And what you know is that you can manage tags. So you can domains are available. So if you want to know what domains use, you can actually get it there. You can get objects, your performance on each of them. You can publish them. Prediction. You can do those test images. Do in the portal. You can do in here as well. Portal is training wheels, and if you're ready to just make the whole then you can hook yourself to those APIs and do it yourself. And for example, files. So what you can do here, provide basically a whole bunch of different files, and the content will probably need to be encoded, but so if I remember, to upload URL. Yeah, I think. No, that's not the one. Or is this from a different API from data? 4 images and 20 tags per time. So you can start uploading, and those are I think those are from for the might be for they do have location and read. So anyway, so everything that we done through the API as well. And I just hate this thing takes. You know what? While this is loading, back to our. Like I said, we're short for time, so I need to make sure that we're else. So the convolutional neural network here, that is what is behind the scene. So you're training your model from scratch. It requires literally tens of thousands of. Every time you read CNN, it basically means deep learning. And every time you read a massive amount of data. So you don't want to do that. So the CNN transfer learning basically allows contains like all the learned patterns and labels, and they're all. And the last time I looked, it was on image, but that in the past from the last few months. Like we update our stuff very frequently. What we want to do is we want to retrain the labels and keep all the patterns that already exist. So this in a nice graph. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to keep the basic features based on basic features of neurons that are in. Then all the probability of a label. So what we want to do from those retrain the labels. That's what we do. Okay, there's possible pitfalls. So when you take feature model training, you make sure that you're not using the same model. Apples. I would say buy a bag. Apples. For something, just don't train with the same exact object. Room, right? Make sure that you a little bit, because if you have the different warmth them. So I saw this, doing this thing from Naruto, from Naruto, and the model was like I think it was actually at Act 2 years ago, and the examples were great, but the problem is that as soon as they tried to do it, the light different than the light at the when you train the data. At the moment, the problem is, and it didn't work. So sure, you have different models from different angles. So if you're putting something on like on a paper plate is not always there, that you move it up, like you're going up and down and left and other noise in the background. You want to make sure that objects are in different contexts, lighting exactly. You want to objects, you want to use different ones. If you want to become an expert, make sure you just don't take the same apple, because time it can cause problems. Also, it has to be interesting that for us, this object is those objects are pretty and different, but if with very few amount of data, look similar. If you're training them wrong, if you're training them, so it is important. Like left and the right are both round, shiny lights, and the brain has already been true to this. It's already been capable. So we need to train those models. So see if I can do copy. I can't. Let me just type them in. So aka.ms/ bacon, not bacon. So be about the learn module. If you want to build on, the second link will be the that I was giving you about improving class around that. So let's just click ones. let's bring it down here. And get all the same data out of this. For the custom vision Python, all the things that we've trained, you can run basically the TensorFlow model that we've trained in there by following. Let's take that final model that we have here and do a quick test on our sausages from our testing set. Now, what we should see is that the sausages will never be mistaken for bacon. Now we know for sure they're not bacon because we had sausages in our data. We didn't need that much, just 3 of them. And it was from that point, what I want to show is the thing you can either, so in this case, you're going to be able to have, you can get, you can use, and that you can start using in your key to test it out online directly, or you can export your model. If you export your model, this is the place that is fun. It's only going to show up if your model. So make sure you select it, otherwise it's not. So, of course, there's multiple ones that most people is the iOS one, which is running on, and the TensorFlow, pick TensorFlow, and this one allows you to do TensorFlow Lite, Light Float, or JS, TensorFlow, and then export. You're being mean right now. Like, that's not training up. All right, so now that you can download the model, and that will show up file. So let's see if I can, okay. Export all the, we have a model.pb file of all your model. This is basically a file. This is a format, and it's all available. Labels are, it's bacon, not bacon. It's going to be part of the recording. It's amazing. I'll do advanced training. I'll do jumping in the elevator. No, because I might jump later. Anyway, so CV export just on our side is just things that and if it's good, you should, because ID can actually do the hot dog team, right? Like this. Let's bring that back. I mean, I want to be able to keep seeing light. Turn everybody before we leave. So reach time, go and keep on going. So I'll leave you with is this earlier, the one with custom vision Python. This is going to allow your TensorFlow model, and or you can just run. So if you had those stuff, you can just do it all. And need in the process, by the way, is the model PB labels.txt. Need, that's it pretty much. Yeah, because that one is in itself. You have Twitter. Yeah, I'm using, but yes, I do have a Twitter account. On that note, my name is Matt, cloud advocate on the academy team. So no worries about that. Let me just drop that, hoping that you're not ending up in the junk mail. Microsoft aggressive. That's it. I mean, if you're make sure that you tag me, follow me on Twitter, or I'm on LinkedIn. LinkedIn unless I'm looking for a job. So if you're using LinkedIn, and Jim should start freaking out. Look.com or Microsoft.com. Okay, so Jim. So let me just get to his account. Jim Bob. But Jim is amazing. And with him, also fair. He specializes about two devices. Person for you. Hotmail.com. I like seriously. And we're a little bit over time. Live, love, geek. Yep. Love, geek. You were your Azure. Okay, so you're talking probably about those, right? Frederick. Okay. So precision is a number that is said that what you're targeting is actually right, and remember exactly how they are calculated. You need to invest. Recall means how many of them actually match. And AP is it means basically some model performance. Things are that is like high numbers, and right now what we claim is enough. So let me just, by the way, all you. Well, my back is turned. It does tell you if you're over. Like every time you see like information, like you should over them. And by the way, model balance, and you see here 18 to 15. It's just not a 3-to-1 ratio we had. So this is pretty much. I don't have it on Twitter, but you know what? You want a training set? Let me do. Let's do this. Bacon or not bacon? Bacon. How many can I select? I think it's 4. All right, let's do this. Open. Bacon. Different sizes of features. How does Azure allocate? CNNs are understanding why something is a feature and why something don't know. We don't really know. We don't that when you input a picture in, probable can label based on. If I remember correctly, this is called supervised. So it means that somebody had to do that. So when you're just retraining the labels, layer is the last one. They're being trained. If we're looking at learning, it's just like images because they have to be. If I get something nice here. So yeah, those things start like when I try to. So there's a few things that you can start looking. But basically, it's something like that where you're the other and you're the last layer. It's just more complex than this, but so you have here. I have no clue if somebody liked my bacon pictures, but I hope you did. I mean, bacon. There you go. Impressive pigskin. Yeah. Okay. So here's that tweet in the chat. If you want to have a few of those, not all on GitHub, of course. Let me just do more bacon. This time I'm going to go with everyone. There you go. Yeah, interestingly, again, I call like somebody else said earlier, it is an abomination, and they're the person getting married, I think, is hunt. If you're into security, that you should follow. But on that note, I don't think I have anything else to show up. I mean, I'm pretty much done, and I have to go. But please do follow up on Twitter. I am not on Discord. I do have a Twitch channel. On Wednesdays. I have my profile link for all the where I am. See all files online. Reach out to me on those platforms. And that's it. Oh, Morgan, please, no embarrassing stuff. Before she launches onto that, I'll just make sure I'm not I'm not make sure I. So on that note, thank you so much, everyone. And that you enjoyed the workshop. Soon.